Hey Star Warriors, Star Geek here, and welcome to a digital walkthrough of my experience at the Force Awakens exhibit at Star Wars Celebration VII. In case you didn't know, I visited Star Wars Celebration 2015 in Anaheim a few weeks ago, and saw the Force Awakens exhibit. It was one of the highlights of my trip to Celebration. Other highlights included the collector's panels, Anthony Daniels recognizing me during his panel talk, and getting Peter Mayhew's autograph. But it wasn't the easiest experience getting into the exhibit. Instead of a 30-minute wait like we expected, the queue ended up taking over 3.5 hours. It was by far the worst line I've ever had to wait through. It was slow moving and kept surprising me by revealing itself to be longer and longer. When we finally reached the doors, the excitement was palpable and my heart was racing. We entered the exhibit only to be greeted with another waiting area in line. But it was well worth the wait. When we walked into the actual exhibit, Star Wars music blasted and the amazing costumes and props of Episode 7 came to life. It was one thing to see these pieces in the teaser trailers, but it was completely different seeing them in person. Villains, heroes, and droids from the most anticipated film of the year, all in one room. I'll start by going through one display at a time. Upon entering the room, we were first greeted by two iconic vehicles, the X-Wing fighter and the Millennium Falcon. These models are extremely detailed and very fun to see up close. It's nice to see that some of the old methods of making these vehicles soar across the screen, using practical props and miniatures, is still in use nearly 40 years after they were implemented in A New Hope. The Millennium Falcon looks just as good as it did in 1977, even with its updated rectangular dish, and the new X-Wing design looks great. Each of the displays have concept art and/or plaques next to them showcasing their information and conceptual imagery. To the left of the Falcon, we see the Incom T-70 X-Wing fighter. Its plaque tells us of the First Order, Resistance, and how the model was made. The concept art looks sleek and clean, much different than the battle-worn X-Wing we see in the replica. The model itself is beautiful, the engines, the color, and even the miniature BB-8. Maybe BB-8 crashes onto Jakku in this X-Wing, and that's how he met Rey. That would kind of mirror the same way Luke found R2 and 3PO, but it's just a theory. Moving on to the next display, we see Finn's outfit. It looks just like the one in the second trailer. His Luke Skywalker style jacket and pants seem to fit perfectly with his character. The concept art image shows that at his belt is a lightsaber, but I've already covered this in my second Star Wars trailer review video, so please go check that out if you haven't already. The next display shows us 5 new characters, 2 Stormtroopers, the Junkyard Thug, the Desert Nomad, and BB-8. Let's start with the Stormtroopers. Their body armor looks very similar to the original and iconic Stormtrooper design, but their helmets are new and unique. They look sleek and menacing. These troops are equipped with white blasters to match the color of their armor. Notice that their blasters have been updated with scopes. Maybe that will improve their accuracy. The Desert Nomad and Junkyard Thug are brand new characters, never before seen in any of the trailers or leaked images. They both kind of remind me of Tusken Raiders. The Desert Nomad appears to be some sort of civilian or local to Jakku, while the Junkyard Thug looks like more of an assassin, with a red hood and mini grenades. And then we have BB-8, definitely my favorite character from what we've seen so far of Episode 7. BB-8 looks incredible. In the trailer, he is fun and charismatic, but in person, he is stunning. I'm sure lots of you have seen the Force Awakens panel that opened up Celebration, where BB-8 rolled out on stage. That's probably the best part about him, the way he moves. His head almost floats around his spherical body, supposedly through some sort of magnetized system. His chirps and beeps are comical, and he is immediately likable. The next display shows us Rey in her desert wraps. She has the staff that we saw in both of the trailers attached to her back, and is carrying a backpack full of spare parts and containers. Her goggles, belt, and boots all look great and really fit into the grungy theme of Star Wars. Her concept art shows her holding a blaster, a DL-44 heavy blaster pistol to be exact, Han Solo's weapon of choice. Many people say that this could further prove the theory that Rey is Han and Leia's child, and that the blaster is a way of hinting towards that fact. Her costume is perfect for the location of Jakku. Moving on, the next costume is the new and improved First Order Snowtrooper. He has a cool helmet, the iconic Snowtrooper skirt, and bulky boots. The thing that really stood out to me on this guy was the symbol on the front of his chest. To me, it looks a lot like some sort of logo for a tech company. His utility belt has 2 container pouches which stretch around to the back, where he carries a backpack. His counterpart to the right of him is also a First Order troop. The Flame Trooper has a great design, a simplistic helmet along with a menacing weapon and backpack. His flamethrower is a very unique item, connecting to a fuel tank. Both of these troopers are abundant in this clip from the second teaser, and I go more in depth in my trailer review, so let's move along to the last display. Finally, we have the main villain of The Force Awakens, Kylo Ren. His robes, his belt, and his mask are extremely menacing and detailed. Seeing the costume in person really shows his true power, and is definitely worth experiencing. Alongside his outfit is his controversial yet very cool lightsaber hilt. The most interesting part about the saber for me isn't the crossguard, but rather its open wires and components. This piece, along with BB-8, was one of the most popular at the exhibit, and it was very hard to get good footage of. A black hilt, evil mask, and tall stature. Kylo Ren is a great way to end off this exhibit. So that's pretty much all there is to say on the sneak peek of close-up costumes and props for Episode 7 that we saw at Star Wars Celebration. Hopefully I'll come out with a full episode on my whole experience at Celebration soon, so stay tuned. Subscribe to Star Geek for weekly Star Wars content. If you like the channel, please tell a friend. Did you visit Celebration 7? If so, put it in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please shoot that like button at light speed. You can go check out my Facebook page linked in the description. Also check out my Twitter account, @StarGeekYT, and find me on Instagram by the same handle. Click on the link to the left from my last video, the top 10 best Jedi Knights and Masters. You can also click on the right to watch my review on the second Force Awakens teaser trailer. Don't forget to like the video and comment on your favorite display below the video. Until we meet again in a galaxy far, far away, this has been Star Geek. To end off the video, let's look at some rejected Star Wars Episode 7 titles and other extra jokes. I just thought that after 6 movies, the Force would already be awake. Star Wars The Force Awakens. I'm cool with it, but slightly saddened that they didn't just go with Jar Jar's Revenge. Episode 8? If Disney wants the real traffic, they'll go with Star Wars The Force Awakens and you'll never believe what it sees next. Star Wars Episode 8. The Force just needs about 10 to 15 minutes to regenerate. I swear this has never happened before. Episode 7, The Force and the Furious. What if the big reveal at the end of The Force Awakens is they're all sentient action figures? Hashtag Toy Story 4. Star Wars. Don't even bother asking the Force a question until it's had its coffee. I didn't realize the Force was asleep. The Force Awakens is 100% confirmation that the prequel trilogy is about to be retconned out as Luke's bad dream. Hashtag wishful thinking. Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Episode 8, The Force stares blankly from a window. Episode 9, The Force wonders when it all went wrong. Star Wars, the R2 dequel. Star Wars, whoa, I just had this crazy dream. In space, no one can hear the Force snoring. Star Wars, it doesn't matter what we call it because you'll still see it. Star Wars, the Force Disney sequel. Credit to all those great tweets belong to these witty comedians. Thanks for watching everyone, and may the Force be with you.